is happening with the Ghana Premier League, and already at the SAP Production Limited is doing an amazing job, serving us with some goals, some amazing football, and also some players are distinguishing themselves and making an impact for their clubs, and we'll look at all that here on the GPL Build-Up Show. My name is Mutala Yakubu, and this evening I have been joined by two of the best brains as far as Ghana football is concerned. Usually when I meet them, I don't know whether I don't know how to separate them, because both of them fidget, play, and love numbers. And I'll introduce them shortly to you. But today on the show, we'll look at match day 4 and what really transpired with clubs like Suedo All Blacks losing to Babiani Gold Stars. Asante Kotoko also drew their game, and we'll be looking at picking up a win in match day 5. So we'll do a throwback of match day 4 and also look up to the fixtures that are coming up in match day 5. But before we get into the discussion proper, let's take a quick break. We will be right back.
Sacrum Yakubu.
Welcome back from that break. Another weekend is fast approaching, and we're here to build up to that weekend where we'll see some amazing games being played in match day 5 of the Ghana Premier League. But I've been joined by two of the best brains, as I said. Both of them love numbers, but let me start with the senior. He's been doing this job since I was a kid. Felix Romack loves numbers, data analyst, here with us to analyze match day 5. And also, I mean, the new school, so this is the old school, the new school, Mohammed Shaban also loves numbers, works with the Ghana Football Association, the communications department, and will also be dissecting all that happened in match day 4 and also look forward to match day 5. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
We'll get into the discussion proper, look at what happened, but first of all, let's enjoy the highlights and the goals from match day 4.
He gives it away to Kwanzaa. Eche Dogley. Kotoko showing great aggression. Hilary Adabo swings in the cross, and Arban heads it down. Here is Adabo again. Just look at the cross from Amwa, and look at that overhead kick from Albert Amwa. Brilliant stuff only. With a 4-1 win over Wonders. And here comes Jehu. I thought he was going to go for goal. He decided to pick out Aqua. And here is entry. He kills one and it goes over the bar. Bismarck Enim. Here is Hubert Jehu. It's Kotoko on the offensive. Jehu goes past Antonio Wusu. Lovely score. He goes past Fauza Ali. He goes past Aban with a cutback, and it's straight to Lawrence Osei. What a run.
But the fans are looking forward to see exactly what they're able to bring on the table. And these are the supporters who are just hoping it can't come in there. But it is going to be the visiting side with the first goal. Surprise, surprise.
They were never expecting that. Emmanuel J with a very good delivery inside the penalty area. Sanu couldn't get onto it. It bounced off Abdulaziz, and Nkua was very well positioned to just nick home. Very unfortunate there from Aziz.
Opener, Bechem United up against Hearts of Oak. This is our coverage live on TV3 and it's proudly powered by Adesa Productions Limited. Hearts of Oak up against Bechem United, one of the biggest fixtures of matchday 4 in the season's Premier League. It's an early run. Aben sends across, and Bechem United early pressure on the Phobians. Under 1 minute, Pablo Wusu sends it across. Moro gets it away. Here comes Aben, but Bayfi is first to the ball. Amankwa Bayfi, good skill to go past Aben. Bayfi sends it across. Prince Owusu, this should be the opening goal, but no. Aben, it's a lovely drive. Brilliant save from Benjamin Asari. Now Seifa looking for the movement of Afrani Mensah, but is well defended by Ransford Mensah. That's the final whistle.
match day 4, sorry. It was an interesting one for most of the teams who were in search of their first wins, like Young Apostle and Ho United. Finally, the Ho Sports Stadium has seen a win in the Ghana Premier League. I mean, Felix, it was a good one for teams who were searching for their first wins. Ho always a place that everyone wants to be.
Well, and I wasn't surprised because I know very well that at home they will win a lot of their games. In fact, last season they played 15 home games in the Division 1 league, which they won in Zone 3, and they won every one of them. And there was pressure on the team though because the opening 2 games didn't go well. They drew against, Hearts of Oak, and then they lost in match week 3. So it was very important for them to pick up some 3 points as quickly as possible. Sometimes early in the season you may think, I have more games to come, but you need to start early, especially for teams that are newly promoted, because you don't want to get into the business end of the season, and that is when you are rushing to pick up wins in games where you think it will become very difficult. So it is a good start for them at home, and hopefully this is more winning games at home.
Now, Shaban, whilst Hohoi were smiling, the other new entrants were not, too happy. 11 Wonders still searching for their first win. Dreams FC 4 games without a win.
Difficult one, but for Dreams FC, that has been the record. Last season, they went about 6 consecutive games, first 6 without victory. They recorded their first victory against Vision FC. And so, of course, in terms of performance, it is now becoming difficult for them, especially with the change of technical team. Abdul Karim Zito is no more with the side. They have to now rely on Wilfred Domo. They've been able to have some good backroom staff with Adnan from Legon Cities as an assistant coach, and then Fifi Hansen Parker also serving as an assistant coach. And it means that they want to rebuild something. They've now gotten John Entry Duku to be part of the setup. In the first 3 matches, he wasn't part of the team, but then, of course, he started training, he played his first game, he scored his first goal for them, and now they are going to have him partner Suraj Seidu up front. Maybe that could do the magic, because Suraj alone leading the attack of the team at a point is becoming difficult, because you need more of the strikers who are dangerous. But then on Seidu All Blacks, I'm not surprised at all. If you look at the history of the newly promoted sides, it tells you that irrespective of your strength in the Division 1, you come into the Premier League, you'll be baptized before you find your feet. And that is why when Samatex even dominated in their second season, in their first season, they went about 5 games under the late Anoka without a victory, both home and away. Look at Accra Lions, they fumbled, Bibiani Gold Stars, they fumbled. And so for Seidu All Blacks, this is just a warning to them that the Premier League is tough, and so they need to put in a lot of work.
Well, their head coach, Ahmed Fati, is aware of how difficult it is to play in the Ghana Premier League. But if you think match day 4 was interesting, let's go through match day 5, because the fixtures are out, and as you know, there will be 3 live games on TV3 and on Nia TV. Big games to look forward to, especially in Takwa, where we start our coverage with Mediema playing at Dreams FC. Then on Saturday, there's Nations FC at Abrankesi coming up against Asante Kotoko, who have never beaten Nations in the Ghana Premier League. There's also Vision against Bibiani Gold Stars. Then on Sunday, we have loads of the games to look forward to, because Young Apostles will come up against Basake Holy Stars at Wenshi, and Samatex would be at home as they take on 11 Wonders, with Karela going back to the Aliu Muhammad Stadium to face Brekum Chelsea. Ho United, they won their first game of the season last week. They would want to continue or replicate that form as they come up against Swedro All Blacks. And Ediana would also come up against Bechim United. But on Monday, there's another live game on TV for you. It's the big one, because Hearts of Oak would be at home as they take on Hearts of Lions. The Lions are still unbeaten in the Ghana Premier League, and these are the games that we are looking forward to in match day 5. Felix, we are starting our coverage on Friday. TNA Park, Mediema back to winning ways against Wilfred Domo's Dreams, who are still in search of their first win.
Struggling Dreams. I think for Mediema, they will look at this particular fixture and say to themselves, it is a must-win game for them. Especially if you look at the team that is above them, which is Hearts of Lions, and then the team that is beneath them, which is Accra Hearts of Oak. The 2 teams would play on Monday. So it is important for Mediema to pick up the maximum points in this particular game, because knowing very well that should they get 3 points, they go top of the log with 12 points, because Hearts of Lions will surely drop points. So it is important for them to win. For Dreams, they are playing some quite some good football. If you watch them, the way they play, but they are not scoring goals, and that is a huge problem for them. Thankfully, Entry is back, Suraj up front, maybe they will start getting goals. But then again, at the Takwa TNA Park, it'll always be a very difficult venue. The last time they won, the Simba scored in that particular win for them. But Midiama have gone almost 8 games, only a defeat and a draw. Actually, the draw that they had in that particular game was against Dreams FC, who got a draw there last season. So I'm sure that they would prefer to go there and get the same results they got that last season.
Well, let's see how that one will
quite
go.
On form.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll miss the services of a certain Prince Owusu, who is with the Blasters current. But this is a game that I expect Midiama to win.
So no Prince Owusu available for Midiama. Now, Shaban is already on the screens to do his thing. I know that there's a lot of headache for Wilfred Dortmund. But one thing that he will be scratching his head knowing is that Midiama have scored 8 goals in 4 games.
Difficult fixture for Dreams FC, of course, let's admit. And if you look at the history and records of Midiama SC at the TNA Stadium, Felix Remark made an emphasis that it's a difficult venue for all the Premier League teams. And Mutala, if you look at the matches they've played there, only 1 defeat against Hartlepool in the Premier League. And so it's difficult playing against them. Again, if you look at Midiama and Dreams FC in a league fixture, it always produces 3-4 goals most often. And of course, the last time Midiama recorded a victory against Dreams FC at the TNA Stadium ended 4-0. And so playing against them means a lot for Midiama Sporting Club. Now, you look at Dreams FC, the reason why this game is becoming so difficult has to do with the performance of Dreams FC in their last 4 Premier League games. They are not winning, and their best have been a draw. They've lost 3 of their matches, they've drawn 1, and that was their last home game against Vision FC. So it means that per the records, Dreams FC are churning out in the Premier League, then this game is really going to be tough for them. Now, Midiama SC in their last 9 home games in the Premier League has always ended 2-0, 3-0, 4, 4-2, 3-2. It means that per the records of Dreams FC Midiama, that produces a cricket scoreline, and per the recent performance of Dreams FC, then we should expect about 2-3 goal margin between both sides.
Of course, we'll look at what will happen in that one. But it looks like Dreams FC are also eyeing their first win in the Ghana Premier League. Their head coach, Wilfred Dortmund, has spoken. So has the coach of Midiama, Ibrahim Tanko.
Very, very close. But it's always about the next game. We're as good as your next game. We have to keep the pieces from the fishing game, both on the positives and face or travel to Daba to face Midiama, which also promises to be a tough call. But we have done it before, so we are not scared at all. We are not better. We have to resort to making sure that we are responsible for the challenges that confront us and making sure that we find solutions to our challenges. This is not a problem. It is a challenge, and we'll find solutions to fix it. This is what I can assure. Now, HSG would come out from these challenges.
I think everyone is doing good. Like you said, Kingsley was injured for a long time. When he came back, he trained very well. That we think we have to give him a chance. Yeah, and Salam, luckily enough, he came in and scored the winning goals for us. So definitely, we are looking at both of them and see who will be fit for Friday. As of now, we have 2 injuries, and Fuzi and Emmanuel Owusu. We have to wait till tomorrow and see if they can play on Friday. If not, definitely we have to replace them with those who are here. We believe that they can also do the job. Like always, they are the 12th man behind us, and we hope that on Friday, 4:30, they will come and support. We are ready, and the team are ready to deliver.
Yakubu is a Jacob performance. So, say, you wait too much. I say, careful. A bit too much. Say a bit too much. Must your fans say, you support. Oh, at that we feel that. So we are supporting. Some bar, you go anywhere. Every moment 3 points.
Tanko always optimistic that things would go his way. But on Saturday, there's another game on TV3 and on Unia TV for you. It's the big one. It's a regional derby. I don't know where to start from because ever since Nations FC gained promotion to the Ghana Premier League, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have not defeated them before. Felix, it's another Nations FC Asante Kotoko game. Last season, Nations did the double over the Porcupines.
I don't know why they are finding it difficult, to beat their regional rivals. But I have to tell you this: I think that consistency has been a very key factor for Nations FC, and that is the reason why they keep getting the needed results against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. If you look at Asante Kotoko, they keep on changing their squad almost every season since Prosper Nate Ogum left. But when Nations got into the league, they brought in the former Bichim United gaffer, Kasim Mingo. They've maintained a core of the team. So there is consistency in the team. And I feel that that has really worked for them. And that is the reason why in the 4 Premier League games that they've played against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they've picked up 3 very good wins and only a draw. And I see the same thing happening because I look at Kotoko, they are so much under pressure because already they are playing catch-up. Other teams have played 5 matches and they are playing catch-up, but there is pressure on them. And don't forget that Nations was also coming back from Takwa with a 2-0, 2-1 defeat against Midema. So they want to quickly return to winning ways. So I'm going for them to continue what they do against Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
So if you're a Kotoko fan and you think that Heart of Lions is the only pain in the neck for the Porcupines, it looks like Nations are also in that same category. Shaban, 4 games, no win for Asante Kotoko against Nations FC. Will that change this Saturday?
Tough fixture. I am looking at the 2 coaches. We'll be looking at factors going into the game, and one of it has to do with Abdul Karim Zito Kabute versus Kasim Minglo Kanse. Kasim has got experience. Abdul Karim Zito has also got a lot under his sleeves as a Premier League head coach. Now, we'll look at the venue itself, and this is Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. And Mutala, we will come back to these statistics, but the venue in the Premier League has hosted Nations FC 36 times. So 36 Premier League games for Nations FC at home. And they've won 26. 4 of their games have ended in a defeat. And so only 4 teams have beaten Nations FC at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in the Premier League. And 6 of the fixtures has ended in a draw. So 36 fixtures, 26 wins, 4 losses, and also a total of 6 draws. Now, the 4 losses has to do with Brekum Chelsea, Young Apostles, Heart of Lions, the recent one in their match day 34 fixture, and Adriana FC. So these teams have beaten them. This season, they are yet to record a defeat at home. Now, if you look at the statistics here, and Kotoko at home and away against Nations FC. This is the very first time Nations FC have hosted Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And the game ended 2-2 at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. And it is the only time Kotoko have scored a goal against Nations FC in the Premier League. The following fixture, that was the second leg. Nations beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko 1-0. Then last season, this fixture was played at the Obuasi Lincoln Stadium. Nations won by 2-0. Then the other results ended 2-0 in favor of Nations FC. So per the statistics we have here, Mutala, it means that Nations FC would score tomorrow on Saturday against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That is per what we have here, because consistently 2 goals appears for Nations FC, and it is just once that they fail to score 2. Again, Kumasi Asante Kotoko in their last 3 games have failed to score a goal against Nations FC. So per what we have here and the statistics available, it means that Kotoko would have to score 1 to draw the game, would have to score 2 to pick a point or to win the game. And so if Kotoko fails to score a goal on Saturday against Nations FC, then the result is going to be very tough for them. But one key thing that we need to pay attention to has to do with both sides and what we should expect, because there are some of the factors that will make the game very interesting. And Mutala, one factor would have to do with the both sides players available on the field of play.
Okay.
People are asking me, Mo, what should we expect? Yes, it is going to be Albert Amwa versus Razak Simpson, because Albert Amwa will do a lot of rounds on the field of play, and then Razak Simpson is expected to defend very well against Kotoko. And for Nations FC, they have 2 ways of playing. They switch to the 3-back, sometimes the 4-back. So if you have Nations FC like this, we know Sanon will be imposed for the side, and then Kwame Boache is expected to start for the side. Razak Simpson will be in there, and then Martin Akogu, who is a winger and has been deployed as a right wing back. Then Nathaniel Anate Abe would also be here as a left back. So usually, if they want to switch to the 3-back system, Kwame Boache will join the centre backs. It will be Kwame Boache, Razak Simpson, and then Samuel Osei-Kuffour as a 3-back system. Then Anate will switch to the left side. Then we have Martin Akogu here as a winger as well. Then you have their 3 midfielders. One of them will join the attack, and so we'll have Faisal Chawete, who is being deployed as a second striker, will switch to the striking department and play behind the strikers. Then you have Prince Bedu as well, and then Kelvin as a defensive midfielder for the sides. This is what we should expect with the three attackers of Farouk Mohammed, who signed for them from Hoho United, and the two wingers, Richard Danso, who will be operating from this side as well. And so this is how they usually play against their opponent. For Kumasi Asante Kotoko, obviously, Morfin Donsu, Abet Amwa would be in the attack. You have Hubert Jehu as well. Then Lord Hilary Adabo will be here as a midfielder who is going to shield the team, and then Emmanuel Entry as well. So Lord Hilary Adabo, 1 DM. You have Hubert Jehu, Emmanuel Entry as well. And then Peter Amidu Akwa as a winger for the side. Albert Amwa, who will be playing across this side because you see him as a center forward, but he will be rotating with Morifin Donsu around the defense of Nations FC. Then you go to their back four. It's expected to see Patrick Esiedu returning the squad, Lord Amwa as a right back, then the two centre backs is expected to start for them. Samba O'Neill as the captain of the side, and Joseph Ablo, who has been consistent for the team. And then for the goalkeeping department, the question is now, why is the coach going in for Mohamed Kamara? But it looks like Dario Aziz Haruna is giving Kotoko the results.
Another fixture that we are looking forward to would be at the Ni Ajay Krakow Stadium. Vision FC will be hosting BBN Gold Stars. Felix, one of the fixtures that Gold Stars lost prior to them winning the title was this one. And with Vision having their coach Nanako Kwajimaiba, it looks like it's going to be difficult for Gold Stars.
I'm expecting the same kind of results last season when Vision had to win by 2 goals to nothing against BBN Gold Stars. I quite remember goals from Edward Ajiman and then Edmond Asante in that particular game. In fact, if you go back to BBN Gold Stars, the last time they lost an away game in the league was actually against Vision at the same venue. But one thing Vision are trying to do is they know very well that surviving the Ghana Premier League is always tough. So they've set themselves a target that winning most of their home matches will guarantee them safety in the Ghana Premier League. And they actually picked 8 wins last season, and then they drew 6 of them. The only game they lost was against Dreams FC. So at the Ni Ajay Krakow Stadium in Tema, it has always been a fortress for basically all the teams that went there last season, apart from Dreams FC, who won. And I'm expecting the same kind of attitude this season. They will be very tough at home, and they'll win most of their games at home. And I'm expecting them to win this particular one.
Now, Shaban, one of the dangers of playing a team that wants early survival is that you visit them at home. They can make life very uncomfortable for you. Do you think Gold Stars can survive?
Well, there's no any motivation that beating Sweden Blacks away, and that is the biggest one. So psychologically, Gold Stars believes that they have everything to go and beat Vision FC. But then the record states that 19 Premier League games played at home for Vision FC, but then they've managed a total of 10 wins, 8 draws, and 1 defeat. And that is against Dreams FC. So, of course, if you look at their records in 19 home games, it's positive. And so they would want to rely on that going into this fixture. And then when they made their debut, they won against Gold Stars. So psychologically, that is a morale booster for them. And they've been one of the sides that do not really drop points at home. They don't lose their fixture. They go all out to pick a points. But for Gold Stars, about 3 consecutive away matches, the results have been very positive for them against Beche United, against Brekum Chelsea, and their recent performance against Sweden Blacks. That is a positive one for me. For me, Gold Stars have what it takes to go all out to pick a points, because from Emmanuel Kobe, goalkeeper, to the attack, Razak, and then Samuel Atakumi, they are a good side. For Vision, they are now rebuilding. They are now structuring the team. They have some equally good players like Emmanuel Sanja, Daniel Yemo, but then they are still doing a lot of work. The coach needs to build the team, and that is where Gold Stars would have an advantage over them.
So let's see how that one will go, is Vision against Gold Stars. But one other venue that aided a team to stay or cement their status in the Ghana Premier League for this season has to be the Wenchi Sports Stadium. You have been there several times. Young Apostles, surprisingly, they have 7 points. They are coming up against Baseke Woolly Stars, who are also in search of their first win. I
actually have to find out where that game is coming from. It's Wenchi. Okay, so it means that they go back to Wenchi. But in their 3 games that they've played, they've had some very decent results. You know, how many teams would go to Hawaii and pick a point? How many teams would play away from home and beat Dreams FC? So it is quite an encouraging win for them in those games that they've played in. And for me, last season, they would have gone down, if not for maybe Swatrema leaving the league and all that. So they also want to quickly pick up points before things get out of hand. But I'm enjoying what they are doing in their recent game. If you look at the way they started the season, it didn't go well, but in their last 2 games, they haven't lost, and that should be a huge motivation going into a game against a poorly traveled team like Holy Stars. I don't remember, have they ever won a game away from home in the league?
Yes, but in recent times,
It's been very difficult. So I'm expecting Young Apostles to continue from where they left off in match week 4.
Young Apostles, Baseke, Holy Stars. There's also another team. They've been knocking on the door for some time now, but it looks like the win is just not coming. New Odate Lamtes 11 Wonders. Well, Felix, why are you laughing? They traveled today in Sechiri to face Samatex.
Mutala, you see, there is this thing about clubs who are orphans. And I call them orphans because they don't have a permanent home.
Yeah.
And when you come into the Ghana Premier League without a permanent home, you struggle. We saw that in Kotoku Royals. They couldn't survive. Even with Heart of Lions, when the Pando Sports Stadium wasn't ready, they were playing in Sogakope, they were playing in Hohoi, they were struggling until Bashir Ifo came in, until they went back to Pando. Even for Hearts of Oak, the reason why they are not doing well in the league, they've played at Legon, they've moved to Accra, they've gone to Sogakope. At a point, Hearts of Oak even adopted Babayara as their home. So 11 Wonders leaving their traditional home in Techiman, they will struggle. And I'm penning them down as one of the teams to be relegated.
Shaban, they are traveling to Insecure to face Samatex, still in search of their first win. Christopher Enin says that they must make all their home games count.
Unfortunately, per the recent performance of FC Samatex, it will be difficult for 11 Wonders to go and pick a win again. The last time 11 Wonders picked a point in the Premier League was against Baseke at the same venue in Century. Maybe that is what they are going to rely on to going into that fixture, because they really want to pick a point. And for you to go 5 games with just a point, it means that you are a relegation candidate. This is the description of a relegation candidate. Mutala, not winning at home, not winning away. That is the definition of a relegation side. Again, coming back from avoiding relegation in the second round is not an easy task. It is just only Heart of Lions who have managed to do that. When they find themselves in the relegation zone in the second round, they managed to up their game and then avoided that. Inter Allies lost some games in their first round, home and away. The 2020-21, they were relegated. You go back to 2021-22, Elimina Sharks faced the same situation. Even 11 Wonders also went through the same challenge before they were relegated. You come back to RTU, you look at Great Olympics. You have to be consistent with performance to avoid relegation. For Samatex, unfortunately, they are not a free scoring side this season. The goals are not coming, both home and away, and that is a challenging aspect of it. They managed just a slim victory against Adriana FC 1-0, and they have to up their game. And they have some equally good strikers. Osman Zakaria is one fine striker they signed from Division 1. They have Abdul Latif from the midfield. They've managed to get some good players. One of the sides with back 4, correct back 4, very good. But a lot of work needs to be done up front. For 11 Wonders, it will be a tough task for them. I look at how Frank Aweri and co would go all out to manage picking a point. Maybe they would want to go and pick 1 point, but for me, per the statistics records, though Samatex are not winning consecutively in the Premier League, these are one of the fixtures that they pick all the 3 points with ease.
Well, 11 Wonders can take solace from the fact that Samatex have not been too good this season, but in Seche would always be a difficult ground. Now, Karela United started the season strongly, but last week's results against Hoho United came as a bit of a surprise. They are back home at the Aliu Muhammad Stadium. They are coming up against a team that is coming off the back of a victory. Samuel Boadu finally has a victory with Brekum Chelsea, but they visit Karela in Tamale.
Difficult venue. I think for Karela, this season they've bought quite well. I don't know if the Fatawi Saaku money from Leicester has arrived for
I was looking at some of the players they signed. When Shaban sent it to me, I was like, Karela really signed all these players, the likes of Blaise Ege, Ivan Soseu. I was like, really, Karela?
And we shouldn't forget the fact that, and let me say this, a big congratulations to the University of Development Studies that won the University FIFA World Cup. They have 3 players there. I think Asigri Mohamed, they have Alilu Al-Hassan, and then Izzedine Mohamed as well. So if all these 3 players are coming back to augment a very good team already, and we shouldn't forget the fact that they are being handled by a former Premier League champion.
Yeah.
So they are very, very good. They are very good
That's
hands.
Nuruddin Amadou, their head
who won
coach.
it with Samatex last 2 seasons. So I'm expecting them to win most of their games in Tamale, and I feel that this is a game that they will surely win.
Shaban, it looks like one of the advantages they will have this season is the fact that you need to do a long travel on the road to Tamale, and once you get there, they make sure they slaughter you.
Yes, it's just not about slaughtering opponents, but they have augmented the squad like you mentioned. And so if you look at Karela United now, you can mention household names like Fatah Mohamed, their goalkeeper Abdul Ghani Mohamed, very experienced goalkeeper. You can talk about Yaya, and he's been part of the Karela from Enyinasi to Tamale. You go to Zaidan, one of the discoveries. Just after 4 matches, everybody is talking about Zaidan Mohamed in the midfield, and he's been nominated for Player of the Month for September. Then you look at up front, Bless Ege. He scored his first goal against Hoho United when they lost by 4-1. For Brekum Chelsea, I think they struggled playing away. They lost their last away game 3-0 to Suedo All Blacks, and that was one of their worst results this season in the Premier League. Some of them would have to find antidote in picking points away, but it looks like this is a challenging venue because Ediana have gone to lost. Even Mediama Sporting Club, who were then unbeaten, going to Tamale, lost the fixture 1-0 against Karela, and Karela created some decent chances where we expected them to beat Mediama by 2-3. And so if you are going to play against an opponent whose defense is a bit weaker, then it gives an advantage for Karela United, and that is what would make the difference. It looks like this season, Karela wants to be part of the top 4, and the signings they've done. Bless Ege is expected to give you 8-9 goals in the season. Evans Osei-Wusu is expected to be part of the team for the first time this season, and that could make a difference against Brekum Chelsea.
Haruna Idrisu, Karela United. They are coming up against Brekum Chelsea. But one game that I would love to watch will be at the Hohoi Sports Stadium. Winner of Zone 3 last season in the Division 1 against winner of Zone 2. And they are coming up against each other. All Blacks coming into this game on the back of that defeat against Gold Stars. Hohoi United will be confident going into this one.
Of course, see, I don't know, but I can place my money on Hohoi United going the season unbeaten in Pando. And it is because...
At Hohoi, rather.
At Hohoi, sorry. And it is because, Mutala, you have to go back 2 seasons ago. The last time they suffered a defeat in the league game, that was against Atran Divisa, somewhere around May, when they lost by 2-1. Since then, they've been winning. In fact, if you even add the 2 games that they've played at home, that is 32 matches. They've won 36 of them, drawing only 4. That tells you that the Hohoi Stadium is more like a fortress. And I believe that it will continue to be because they have quality and they have money. And I'm sure by come January they will.
Which is very important.
Well, very important. If you want to survive, you need to have the money and buy quality as well. And it is also because it is a community-based club. So on Sunday, people put aside their, whatever they are doing and come to the Hohoi Stadium to watch their team. And in fact, if you talk about teams that are making money from gate proceeds, they are one of the teams. This team is very motivated. I look at Suedo All Blacks, they are very good. They've been good in the Division 1 league, but I don't think they can go to Hohoi and put up a surprise.
Now, Shaban, you know these 2 teams very well. I mean, when they played their first game, you were there. You follow them right from Division 1.
I don't know which one you support.
I know he's in the dilemma at the moment. But take us through, how will this game go?
Felix have made some positive submission around the game. But one key thing to look out for as a statistician is that which zone is the best now? We have to look at which zone has the best, either zone 2 or zone 3. Now, if you look at these 2 sides, aside the zones we are going to look out for, we are going to look at which venue has the numbers, because it has been a debate that Suedo All Blacks has the numbers. Hohoi are also debating that they have the numbers. And if you ask me, I've not been able to calculate the number of people when I go to the match venue, but though I've visited them often when they are playing at home. Now, it is something that is going to happen. We are going to see a lot of the people from Suedo to Hohoi, because it's about 5 hours journey from Agona Suedo to Hohoi. And so we are going to see a lot of people traveling to the venue. Now, Hohoi United are unbeaten in the Premier League, but there's something interesting to watch out for. Though Suedo All Blacks are dominant at home, Hohoi United are dominant at home. In terms of away performance, it has not been the best. And for Suedo All Blacks, if you look at the league table, the chances that they will drop to the relegation zone if they fail to pick a point in this game is very high, because currently they have just 3 points. And if you look at all their away games, they score first, and the opponent equalizes and win the game. And so if you pick their match they won against Nations FC, Kweku Aswanzi Bafo scored first, and then they lost by 2-1. Then they traveled to Doma. Kweku Aswanzi Bafo scored first, and they lost by 2-1. And so it looks like Kweku Aswanzi Bafo against
Kweku should stop scoring.
Maybe he needs to stop scoring.
Would have a goal against Hohoi United, and Hohoi will win by 2-1. That is it. But per what we've seen, Hohoi at home will be difficult. I foresee that between their meetings, the home sides would have the advantage.
Well, it's a weekend of regional derbies, and it takes us straight to the Bono region. Aduana FC, whose home used to be a fortress some time back, will be coming up against Bechem United. Bechem have Aminu in their ranks. He's yet to really play, but I mean, Aduana Bechem is a game that I can't predict, so unless you tell me.
It is difficult. And to be very honest, I'll tell you this. It's one of the most boring games in the league. It's a regional derby, but it doesn't always live up to expectations. It always ending up in 1-0, 1-0. I don't remember the last time I saw a 2-0, 2 goals, in fact, in the Bono derby against these two very good traditional teams. But I'm hoping that this time around, they give the regional guys in Bono a very good game. But, you know, Adriana, inconsistency, I tip them as one of my title favorites, but they've been inconsistent. But I'm hoping that they get to start winning at home. For Bechem United, the Hunters are putting up a very young team. I don't think they've gotten the horns and the tones to try and hunt now. But I feel that going to this particular game and look at previous results, Adriana should be favourite for this particular one.
Shaban, quick one on that. It's a game that hasn't produced many goals in recent times.
I foresee some difference going into this fixture because honestly, I watch Bechem Hearts-of-Oak and Coach Desmond Isabuchi made a lot of changes, especially the attack of the team and the way they were attacking from Augustine Okra to Dalvin Yeboah. They made sure that they mounted pressure, and then Emmanuel Aban, their winger, one of the skillful wingers in the Premier League. But for Adriana, they are now building a team. Isaac Efrie leading the attack for them. Bright Ejay is also part of the attack. And one of the key players, one of the unsung heroes in the team, remember Adoma Kumbuaten, who would also be part of the team from Accra Lions, from New ADBRC United. And so, per the players we want to watch, these two teams are going to give us key players, especially Augustine Okra, is going to torment the defense of Adriana FC. But at the Nana Jimambidu, it will be very tough for Bechem United. But I don't see Adriana winning by 2-1, 3-1. It's possibly, like Felix Rumark said, 1-0 or a draw, a goalless draw, or 1-0 for Adriana FC.
Definitely we'll bring you the highlights of that game on Tuesday when Alexis Laura comes with the GPL review. But there's another big game on Monday which will be live on TV3 and on Unia TV. It's Hearts-of-Oak against Heart of Lions. Hearts-of-Oak have gotten the better of Lions in the last 2 meetings. That is the Galka Top 4 and the Homo World Cup that was played. But in the league, I remember the last time they faced off, Heart of Lions really gave them a tough time.
Of course, but I think that if you want to term a fixture that has been very easy for Hearts of Oak in terms of win, you can go back to this particular one. I don't know how they manage, but maybe because there's Hearts and Hearts, Hearts of Oak find a way to always get the win against Hearts of Lions. You have to go back to 2015, the last time Hearts of Lions got a win against Accra Hearts of Oak. And Hearts of Oak have started the season quite well. They are yet to even concede a goal this season. And I don't know if the absence of Benjamin Asari will affect this particular Hearts of Oak team in that particular fixture, because he's currently with the Blasters, and we know his quality, not just as a captain, but the leadership quality that he brings to that particular defense. I don't think Bashir Ereford will want to sit down and say, why am I not getting the results against us? They defeated me in the league. We went to preseason, we lost against them in the Gaka Top 4. We lost also in the World Cup. So it is time to stop that particular bad run against the phobia, and it could come in that particular game. But Hearts of Oak have shown signs this season that even if they are not winning games, even if they are not scoring, it is difficult for you to get a goal against them.
One thing I know is that Benjamin Asari will be with the Black Stars, but maybe he could be released on time to be in post for Hearts of Oak when Ghana has already qualified to the World Cup. But Shaban, I mean, Hearts of Oak defensively have been solid. Up front is where the headache is. Do you think that will change against a very formidable Lions side?
Well, a two solid defensive setup, Heart of Lion, Heart of Oak, who always want to play with the 4-back this season. For Didi Dramani, an impressive record, a total of 10 games played as Heart of Oak head coach. He's lost just once, and that is against Kotoko. He's played Heart of Lions twice in the Omoho, and then another trophy, Gaka Top 4. In all the matches, he's kept clean sheets. It's 1-1, 2-0, it's 1-1, 1-0. And so going into this fixture, of course, he believes that he's got the players going into the game. Now, this is what makes the game difficult. One, Lions are on top of the league table and currently unbeaten in the Premier League, and with 3 wins, 1 draw, and one of the best sides in the Premier League. That is the advantage. Now, the opponent, who is Hearts of Oak, hosting Hearts of Lions, have some good records. They are yet to concede a goal in the Premier League in a total of 4 matches. But then, if you do the analysis in terms of goals scored, Hearts of Oak have just scored 2. But for Hearts of Lions, they've scored 4 against 11 Wonders, 1 against Dreams FC, and then they managed a draw against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and then 1 against Bichim United. And so, in terms of goal scoring, Hearts of Lions are up there in terms of goal scoring against Hearts of Oak. Now, like Felix just said, since the return of Hearts of Lions, when they were relegated in 2015 back in the Premier League, it's so difficult for them to beat Hearts. Even when Hearts of Oak were struggling, how to move their venue from Accra to Kumasi, they beat Hearts of Lions by 2-1. And so Hearts of Oak hosting Hearts of Lions has always been in their favor since 2015. And going into the fixture, Hearts of Oak will have that at the back of their mind. Now, we spoke about the 2 teams having some good attackers, but for Hearts of Lions, they look more dominant. And so Hearts of Lions can now rely on their 3 strikers, where you can talk about Chelsea Freeman. Then, if you talk about Chelsea Freeman leading the attack for Hearts of Lions, you can talk about one key player who has always made the difference, Paul Ateje, as one of the strikers, and Kojo Obin Jr. So this is their constant 3. And for you to hold them, you have to now map your strategy, because Bashir Ford would bring these strikers to attack you going into the fixture. Then in their midfield, Ishmael Ado would be in the midfield for the team, and he is also one creative player. But then the unsung hero in their squad is Eche Dogli, good passer of the ball, good defensive midfielder, and that is something he adapts to in terms of his performance. Then one player they've introduced in their squad, because he was part of them, he was loaned to Oko United, is back, Samo Boama Kwanzaa. And Boama has been a creative midfielder in their setup. But they are going to face a side that is expected to bring in Abdul Karim in the midfield. And so likely you are going to have Abdul Karim in your midfield, and then he is also expected to torment the opponent. He's a good passer of the ball. Against Bichim, he was injured. I'm sure he will be available for the game. Parku George would also be in the midfield, because Hussein is not fit. And so whenever there is no Hussein, there's Parku, and then Rafael Amponsan would also be part of the midfielders going into the game against Hearts of Lions. Then the Hearts of Oak attack sometimes switch to 3, sometimes 2. And when it is 3, then you expect to see Hamza Issa leading the attack, but Enoch Esubontin and Martin Kakari. And so we want to see how Enoch Esubontin, Martin Kakari, Hamza Issa going to face off against Hearts of Lions attack of Paul Ate-Ej, Chelsea Freeman, the Liberian striker, and then Kojo Obin Jr. This is where we are going to see. But both sides have the best of defense. If you talk about the best of back 4 for Hearts of Oak, the best of back 4 for Hearts of Lions, Yao Danso as a right back for Hearts of Lions, extraordinary this season. You look at their left back, Bismarck Enin, Robin Hennessy, and then Ebenezer Aban, solid back 2 for Hearts of Lions. Then you look at the back 4 for Hearts of Oak. It's obvious that Amankwabi, if he will be from the right side, the informed Ransford Mensah from the left side. Then the 2 centre backs, Kevin Osesibe will be available, and David Opanfrani. But you talk about the goalkeepers. It is likely he will return, because on Sunday, when the Black Stars game is over, if coach wants to use the Benjamin Asari on Monday, maybe, I don't know if...
Well, let's see what happens. But this is the favorite part of this show that I like, where we do the prediction, where we put the fixtures back on the screens and you predict. It's just a one-time prediction. I love this, because when the teams do not win, they have to hold you accountable for predicting. So the Friday fixture is that game between Mediema and Dreams FC. It will be played at 4:30 p.m. So take note of that one, 4:30 p.m. But we'll start our build-up at 4. So, quick one, I'm starting with you, Felix. Mediema Dreams, who wins that one?
2-0 win for the Moves and Yellow.
Then we come to the Saturday game, Nations FC Asante Kotoko. Shaban.
Top fixture, home win or draw?
Vision FC Gold Stars. Felix.
2-0 win for Vision.
Then Young Apostles will take on Baseke Oli Stars. Shaban.
Young Apostles win.
Insecure, it is Samatex against 11 Wonders. Felix.
3-0 win for Samatex.
Well,
and Felix is adding the
Correct score.
Aliu Mahama Stadium, Karela against Bekum Chelsea Shaban.
Karela United straight win.
Hohoy at home against Swedru All Blacks.
2-1 for Hawaii United.
Ediana against Bechim.
Did he say 2-1?
Yeah, yes. 2-1 for Hohoy United. Ediana against Bechim United.
Ediana win.
Yeah. Then the big one, both of you have to predict. First with you, Heart of Oak, Heart of Lions.
Tough one. I'm going for 1-1. The phobia in me wants a Heart of Oak win, but it's 1-1.
Shaban?
A home win or draw.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. And do remember that 3 games will be live on TV. As I said, we'll begin our coverage on Friday where we bring you that game between Mediema and Dreams. Then we move to Kumasi. Abrankese is the destination. Nations FC will come up against Kotoko. Then we wrap up match day 5 at the Accra Sports Stadium. Big game. That is Accra Heart of Oak against Heart of Lions. Thanks to my guests, Felix Romack and Shaban, for always being present and shedding light on the fixtures that are coming up. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Do have a good evening, and remember that all the games will be live on TV3 and on your TV.